Hello everybody, my name is Katrin and this is my first video in English language about a being which is called the white dragoness. I would like to introduce this wonderful female dragon to you, and I would like to tell you what she stands for and what qualities she has and why she came back. Maybe you're not familiar with words like this, but I'm a bridge maker, and I would like to show you who she is and how she is. The white dragoness is a spiritual being. She was coming to me between the 19th, 20th and 21st of March this year, 2020. She was coming from the worlds above, let's call it like this. And yeah, since then, since I was initiated with her energy, I can feel the mission that my soul has in this incarnation even stronger. And she gives me the power to make everything come true and to materialize what I have always known or have known for a long time, or which grew coming from my experiences, coming from my childhood, all the messages that are in my internal self that I would like to bring to, down to earth. And that's why, I think that's why she came. And yeah, her qualities are freedom, wisdom, truth, love, and tenderness. And she wants to remind the mothers on this earth to get back to her or their true feeling and her senses, which connect them with their baby, with their child. I don't know in which world you live. There are so many worlds at the moment, so many realities, and so many everyday lives. And in every culture, we have different traditions. I guess in German tradition, motherhood has been for a long time, how can I say, idealized as maybe something that it has been in a very true form, but on the other hand, it has not been always. I want to make this concrete. It sounds a little bit cryptic. Maybe I tell you just how I experienced it. When I was becoming a mother, I could feel my body much more intense. I could smell more intense during the pregnancy. The food, the real good food, was tasting so well, like vegetable, fruits, and the well-made stuff. It was so delicious for me. So I realized my senses open up, and okay, my body's changing on a physical basis or a physical level, but also I can sense things in a different way. I am much more sensitive than before, and things that I experience have a different meaning or intensity than they had before. And being female was becoming something completely different, although I, of course, stayed the same person. And this is something that a lot of mothers experience, that they are afraid that something happens to them, that they cannot control, and that causes fear. And then they stop trusting themselves. They ask for answers, and that's something very natural I experienced, that you ask for answers in your surrounding, and the people that are around you. You ask for ways how How did they do it? Which pathway did they go? And that influences you. And this is important, of course, but the most important thing is your intuition, is your body, because this is the temple which carries the baby, which brings birth to the new being, and which welcomes the soul which comes to you and which wants to go the way with you. This soul has chosen just you. Just you. You are Holy Spirit, and this spirit is also holy, and you two spirits, you chose to go together. And this is just how I sense it. I don't know if it's just my truth. Maybe you have another truth. That the baby, the soul that comes to you, this soul chose you even more. Because, of course, on a certain level, you both chose each other, but on the other level, this being decided again to come to you, not to another mother. So this is a great, great honor. And it means that this being really wants to be with you. And the fact that it was born in a physical body, which is a gift from the universe, in my perception, this fact also means that this physical body wants to be with your body. I experienced both. I have 2 kids. The first kid, my daughter, I had her with me very intensely. I breastfed her, and when she was 8 months, I gave her to another mother who had her own kids, and I brought my daughter 4 days a week to this mother that she takes care of her, so I could go to work from 8:30 in the morning or 9 until 1 or 1:30. This is not a long time for certain work days or jobs, but for me it was a big step. So I did that when my daughter was real small. And when my second child came, I knew that something would go completely different, but I couldn't really say it before. I was in a crisis, an internal crisis, and it ended up, looking back, that I was at home for 3 years. I didn't plan that. I didn't know that before, but it just happened step by step. This was my path to go with this special child, and also in the combination of my 2 children and the father of my children. And so I invite you to listen, because everything was important for my experiences, and I could not talk to any woman if I would not have made both experiences. But this message is for every mother and every woman, and you decide whether you like it, whether you accept it or not. It's your free will, and this free will is holy. It has the same importance and the same responsibility as your free will to decide whether you want to become a mother, and also to trust your feelings, to trust your senses, to trust your body, to trust, just trust. And thoughts are a very valuable and treacherous instrument. It's also important because you learned to use this tool. But from my perception, when you become a mother and you give birth and you get this baby, it comes to you, then there's other levels of your being more important than just the head. Of course, you always need the mind, but the spirit, which is all the way above there, and also, as I said, the senses, the body, and so forth, they are more, they're more central in this time, in this special treacherous time of your life. So how about going back to work? I would just like to invite you to use your freedom. There's much more freedom in our societies than we think there is. Just an example. Do I need a new car because a child is coming so that the trolley is fitting back in the trunk? Is that really important? Or do we have to move when the baby's just there? Or is it just not more important to spend time with each other? Valuable time, quality time, time which is just for you, your husband or your partner and the baby. I invite you to do this, to center yourself, to feel your heart. And to do this also when you decide when you want to go back to work. Of course, and I completely respect that, believe me, there's really urgent needs. There's biographies, there's lives where certain things are not easy to decide. But I tell you a story. I have a friend. She was a social worker, or she is, and her husband too. And they both love their jobs and they do them very well. But then when they became parents, they decided, we want to really spend that time together. And if we both want to live on a normal level and we both work, we won't see each other at all. You know what they did? They quit their jobs and they took the luxury, let's call it like this, of the government or the social welfare, and said, okay, we won't work during this time. And I know this is not something that you can recommend to people or to anybody. I just tell you the story how they did it. And for them, it was a great gift for their family, because they had a few years where they were out of stress, out of the urge to rush, out of going away from each other. The bodies, the physical human beings were together. And this is something that holds a secret. If you are continuously together, of course, you have to go for a walk, or you do your running, or you go shopping, or you go whatever for a brief time. That's something different. But it's so valuable as a mother and a baby to have the physical bodies together. I mean, why did nature create the pattern that a baby drinks on mother's breast? You can always say, okay, we're humans, we're no animals. I want it differently. Hey, it's your freedom. I can just say, one thing that made my body so happy and so satisfied was breastfeeding. It was so great. And I don't say that women who don't do it, or mothers, won't get happiness or won't have a great connection to that child. I don't say that. It's your choice. It's the way you design it, the way you live it. I can just tell from my own experience that this was very important for the connection between me and my two children. And I want to share this with you. I want to give you the opportunity to dive right in, and maybe it's an impulse on your life, just a little drop in a big surface of water. Sorry that the camera is moving. I couldn't fix it in a better way for this moment. But yeah, I want to show you that this picture my friend Andrea was painting, that this picture is also for you. It's a soul picture of the white dragoness. And this being came to me because she wanted to support me with this message. She wanted to give me the power and everything it needs to fulfill, that I could give this message to you. And I'm so grateful that you're here, that you're listening. If you don't like it, just turn it off. There's so many channels. There's so many ways to get to know each other, and there's so many people. So hey, surround yourself with people that you like. This is my gift to the world, and it's also my experiences. And yeah, I can just tell you that it was the biggest present that I could give myself and all the people around me, to be at home for 3 years with my 2 children. My job is being a journalist, and I love my job. And it was also connected with a feeling of so many also negative feelings. Feeling of being left behind, letting myself be left behind, missing things, not being important, not being able to talk about what everybody talked about, not being familiar with the current news and being able to talk about it or broadcast something or write something about it. I can tell you, I know how it feels like. And I don't say that everything's great if you follow your intuition, because this world is made not in the first row for the connection of women and children. It should be, and this hopefully will come in the future. In my future, in my visions, it's coming up, and you can be a part of this. So here I am, greeting you from Germany, and this will be continued. So if you liked it, join in. Bye.